Ever since the economy began to recover in 2009, lots of folks have predicted a double dip, a new recession, same thing globally. We're joined now by Mark Faber, who writes the awesomely named Gloom, Boom, and Doom report. Mark's joining us from Thailand. Mark, what is your view of the global economy, and then we'll specifically focus on the U.S.? What's going to happen from here?
Well, first of all, if we break down the global economy into, say, Europe, the United States and Latin America, and Asia, then very clearly Europe is at the present time already in recession. It's not growing, it's rather contracting if you add up everything. In Asia, we had a very strong recovery post the lows in 2009, and in my view, the peak intensity of the recovery was reached about a year ago. And since then, the Asian economies have been slowing down meaningfully, including China, where the economy is growing at a much slower pace than the official statistics by the governments would suggest. In my view, in Asia, we don't have a recession yet, but we have no more growth at the present time. And in many countries, exports are down vis-à-vis a year ago. In many countries, industrial production is down compared to a year ago, and so forth and so on. So if any growth, then very, very little. In the United States, we have minimal growth, maybe 1%, maybe even less, depending on how do you measure the consumer price inflation. In other words, how do you adjust nominal GDP for inflation in order to get real GDP? My impression of inflation in the U.S. is that it is much, much higher than what the government is publishing.
So we're getting into the presidential election. It's getting really hot and heavy. Both candidates are slinging threats and complaints at each other.